Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent, and if you do enjoy the videos, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button. APL, Apollo Fintech. We have to talk about it, right? There's a lot going on at the moment within the bull market, and Apollo Fintech is definitely one to watch out for many reasons. There's some news articles that have come out. There's some very interesting information that has come out lately, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about it because long-term vision and holding this long-term can have some huge benefits. Now, it's not financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor, but let's go over what has been going on and what is happening. When you jump on aplfintech.com, you start to get an idea of just how complex and how good their blockchain is. And the problems that they're trying to solve are big problems, utilizing the power of a blockchain that they've built. And with that comes a long-term mindset. So I want to get that out of the way straight away. When it comes to Apollo Fintech and the opportunity, you need to have a long-term mindset with this. If you do, and you're able to, the rewards will be there in the long term. Now, developing world-shaping solutions for a global economy. They've been featured in a lot of places, from Forbes, NASDAQ, to Fox Business, to Bloomberg, to Yahoo Finance, to Fox News, the Los Angeles Times. The CEO is out there speaking on a weekly basis in different events that are happening. And when it comes to Africa and South Africa, they have some very strong relationships and alliances. But not just there, but around the world, the company is starting to really make headway. And these things take time. And probably one of the key things that I want to mention today. Now, from Knox National Payment Platform, to the Knox e-Government, to the Knox Commodity Exchange, to the White Label Payment System, to the Knox Exchange, and the Knox Government Network, the WorldWire, the DEX, the Currency, the WorldPay, and the Gold GSX, which you've heard on the channel many times. The product suite is extensive, it's in-depth, and overall, it's going to help a lot of people, which is why they are part of the channel, which is why they became part of my portfolio. So they became part of my portfolio because I see long-term the problems that they're trying to solve. And for me, if you don't solve a problem, you're not on this channel. It's just not going to happen. So from a government solutions point of view, their tailored government solutions have the capability to transform the way governments operate. Now, around the world, I know for a fact, in countries like Italy, where I'm from, and here in Australia, these systems are starting to get outdated. And something's got to happen, right? I mean, you got to get with the times. And so these solutions for governments solve major problems. Now, you can appreciate something like this takes a while to get over the line, especially if you look at the age of the people that are in charge in parliaments. It's like, trying to teach somebody for the very first time how to use a smartphone and they've never had. So these things take a lot of time. But the thing is, the efficiency, the database backup and military grade security, and one of the fastest network in the industry, there are a lot of ticks for governments to potentially use this. The commercial products is an interesting one. Now, from a commercial product point of view, more and more businesses are going to start to offer their consumers blockchain solutions. And so the commercial products that the Apollo Fintech team have created, utilizing the blockchain that they've created, this is going to be one to look out for. And from a retail and consumer outlet, more retail businesses are looking to get an edge and an advantage out there in the marketplace. And so it's a very interesting times. We're going to see a lot of change happen over the next 24 months in the world. Not just Australia or America, but around the world. And so consumers are going to want to have more options. And one of those options is accepting crypto. And so for a retail outlet, looking at these options, right? And they're signing up quite a few retail outlets on a weekly basis onto the platform. Because why? Because it just is a new talking point. It's a point of difference that, hey, we accept crypto as payment. So very, very fascinating, and lots and lots of discussions happening around there. The Knox World Wire facilitates uncapped, instantaneous bank-to-bank payments worldwide. Now, of course, on the channel that we talk about XRP, and XRP is a big topic, major player, but that doesn't mean that there isn't going to be other players out there in the marketplace, and that's where the Knox World Wire becomes a very, very interesting product, and a product that will appeal to some compared to XRP, because not everybody's going to go with it, right? It's impossible. So there's a lot of things happening. Now, invested.com, have spoken about Apollo currency in an uptrend. So saying, that Apollo IPO is in a significant uptrend, rising 410%. Apollo is ready for the next upward move. And it has been, right? I mean, it's made quite a few moves, and we're looking at it now and where it is right now and where it can be, right? So from where we are today, getting to the first cent is not out of the question at all. And then to continue to push forward. And this is one of those where catching it on early can really have its advantages. And of course there are risks associated, but there's a risk associated with every single crypto that we hold. We are in a high risk environment. Let's never, ever forget that. Like, if you don't want risk, leave your money in the bank and get 0.01%. And then after fees, you actually don't get anything. But let's not forget that we are in a high risk environment. But betting on Apollo Fintech team throughout this bull run, I think that there's a very strong case for that. When we look at a GSX token and what they've created with it and how it's backed, by gold, by real world assets, I think this team have got a very strong case about what they do, how they build it, and then the kind of long-term longevity that they do. With instantinvestor.co, it becomes very, very easy and very quick to purchase some of these items very fast, right? You open up your Stratus account, you click buy, and before you know it, you've already got it. So they're making it as simple as possible to do so. Now, the big one is the rollout that is happening. Now, when we click here, we can see that the Apollo Fintech on Wednesday, October 27, announced in its bank wire network. So Knox Wire will debut January 15th, and the registrations are now available for the platform, which can process same-day cross-border payments for almost 20,000 financial institutions around the world. Now, the trick is to do your homework on Apollo Fintech before next year. By the time we get to next year, we'll be talking about Apollo Fintech and its products in a completely different way, because they've been working hard behind the scenes. Now, I remember giving this speech about Phantom back in April, and nobody listened. Few listened. And those that listened are now sitting very, 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 very pretty from 16 cents that it was to where it is today and where it's going, Phantom. So the challenge for you is to not wait until January 15th or until you start to see the price uptrend. The challenge is to do your homework this week, to get onto it, to get a really good, solid understanding about who they are, what they do, read the white paper, and understand whether it's part of your portfolio or not. Now, if this isn't part of your portfolio, if it doesn't tick all your boxes, then that's not a problem at all. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, which by now you may have already forgotten, this is a long-term play. If you really, really want to see gains, this is something worthwhile holding on to. And if you do hold on to, I personally believe that there are huge benefits to come by backing them. Now, is there risks? Yes, of course there is a risk. But I think that the risk versus reward ratio is definitely on the side of the Apollo Fintech team. And I've had a chance to interact with some of the team members in their head office. And I have to say that, extremely polite, long-term vision, hard workers, long hours that they put into the team because they all believe in the common goal that they are working towards. And so do I. Now, if you learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.